15th. But I am a network marketing professional. I've been with another company called Zervita for the last 17 years. I was what they called an ambassador over there, a six-figure income earner. My story, real quick, is my wife and I, we got started in this industry about 23 years ago. We were a young family. My wife had just had our oldest child together. And basically, we were looking for a way to make some extra money. Just long story short, I had worked at Target unloading trucks and stocking shelves. At the time I started with my previous company 17 years ago, I was actually delivering pizzas as a full-time job. I have a very blue collar, but I was also very hungry. I've never went to college, so I didn't find a lot of opportunities for someone like myself. I knew how to unload trucks. I knew how to deliver food way before Uber Eats and all this stuff we have now. So it was just pizza delivery was about all you had. So I was just a normal guy looking for an extra way to make money to help supplement my jobs in order for my wife and myself and our family to have more and to be able to do more and to have a increased lifestyle than we were having at that point in time. My wife also had a strong desire in her heart to be a stay-at-home mother. My mother was a stay-at-home mother, so I saw the value in that for, and again, no criticism to anybody else, but our personal choice. It was something that was very high on our list. And it was also a very strong driver for me and my wife and our success. And we were able to work part-time for a couple of years, started to have, every year was just a tiny bit more success and a tiny bit more success. I felt like I was working for pennies an hour the first couple of years. But by 2011, my wife and I made about $30,000 part-time while I was delivering pizzas as a full-time job. I don't know how much you know about how much pizza delivery drivers make, but $30,000 was enough to call in wealthy. And my wife and I continued to work the business part-time, really, to be real honest with you, but we had more time freedom to spend with our family. We started homeschooling our children a couple of years later. In 2012, we hit our first six-figure income, and over the next 12 years, my wife and I earned over $1 million working from home, doing it full-time, homeschooling our children, volunteering at our church, in children's ministries, bus ministry, van ministries, doing what we love to do. And we all have different things. What I always tell people is money will always make you more of what you already are. So I don't generally start with my business side of the story, but I felt compelled to do so tonight. But I want to get into the Zinzino story. So this is the company that I am so excited about. It is literally the best opportunity I've ever seen in my life. I will tell you the 12 weeks that I've been involved with this company. Now, again, I studied this company for the previous year, but for just the last 12 weeks, I've been, a partner with Zinzino, working this business, helping people. And over the last 12 weeks, my wife and I have turned our monthly income into our weekly income. So we've had a 4x experience in this business so far, and we're very blessed of that because of that. And it's because of what I'm about to share with you. So a little bit about Zinzino. I love this first quote. It says, "Let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food." We all want to feel good, stay fit, be healthy, live longer. But at the same time, health-related problems are increasing, and it's time to start asking why. So we used to eat food that was from Mother Nature. It was whole foods. It was full of vitamins, minerals, phyto and micronutrients, fibers, healthy fat, and a good balance of omega-6 and omega-3. But today we eat man-made food. If you're in the U.S., you can't help but to see all the Make America Healthy information that's happening. The food dyes, the over-processed food, the high seed oils and everything we eat, and also high fructose corn syrup. Like, there's sugar or oil on almost everything we can buy at the grocery store. And then we have the things that are grown, like the plants and the vegetables. They're sprayed with pesticides. Then we got the cheeses that come from the milk, full of the hormones from all the hormones and the antibiotics and all the crazy stuff they put in the animals. Same when we eat the meat. It's just our food sources are what they are, and they are low in key nutrients. They're high in sugar. They're full of empty calories, low in fibers, and there's an imbalance between the omega-6 and the omega-3 driven by that high seed oil that's in all of the processed food, or most all of the processed food. I love what Art Jonek says, one of our lead trainers and the operations director over North America. He says, out of every $100 that we spend at the grocery store, $90 come from the inflammatory omega 6s that we're putting in our bodies. So, a little bit about that omega balance. DNA formation, our cells are all, there's omegas in all of our cells, and at the DNA, at the foundation of these cells, it's a 1-to-1 balance between omega 6 and omega 3. We'll talk more about them in a minute. Science recommends, and you'll see this over and over and confirmed through this presentation, 3-to-1, meaning 3 omega 6s to every 1 omega 3, and no more than that, no more than 3-to-1. And then in the 1960s, there was a turning point in our food industry, and that's when we started to see this increase of processed food, and people are testing now 25-to-1 omega 6s to every good omega 3. So a little bit about our company before we continue on the omega journey. We are a global health and wellness company from Scandinavia. We are NASDAQ publicly traded. We have very strong foundation with double-digit sales growth. We're delivering products to over 100 countries around the world, boots on the ground warehouse, local language, people being paid in their local currency, and more, and 48 markets. We are soft launching China as we speak, and there's a whole list of countries that we're already in, and then we ship into a lot of those neighboring countries to where we do operate. We're also about to open the Philippines as well. A little bit about that sales growth. We've had double-digit sales growth for the 20-year history of our company. You'll see that on this chart here. Even during COVID, one of the most horrible economic downturns and disruptions that we've seen in our world, this company, Zinzino, continued to grow even through that at double-digit paces. Last year, we did over 200 million in sales, and we feel that we are just getting started. What drives all of this is the big vision that our company has. It's a customer-based vision, and we have a vision and a goal that we're on track to complete, and we will complete by the end of 2025, and that's to have 1 million customers using our products. We're over 600,000 right now, and we will complete this before the end of the year. And then by 2035 to have 20 million customers, and by 2050 to have over 100 million customers. So what's the mission? It's to become the biggest company in the world in test-based nutrition and preventative health. A little bit about the problem that we're solving, and we'll talk a little bit about inflammation. This is the cover of National Geographic magazine last year. It says chronic inflammatory diseases are the largest threat to human health. And back to those omegas, there's omega 6, omega 3. Both of them are essential. Our body needs them. And essential means we would die without them. They are very, very important. The second thing to understand about these omega 3 and omega 6 is our body does not make them. No matter what we do, our body will not produce these. The only way we get these essential fatty acids is we get them through our diet, either through our food source or our supplements. And omega 6s are inflammatory. Omega 3s are anti-inflammatory. Again, that balance that we talked about is 3-to-1 or better, meaning 3 inflammatory omega 6s to every 1 anti-inflammatory omega 3s. Anything higher than 3 is going to have way too many of the inflammatory omega 6s in your system. So 3-to-1 or higher is the danger zone. So what happens? Here's what science tells us. These are all things that you can Google, find out. As a matter of fact, whatever you have going on in your body, maybe you're growing too fast, whatever it is, and that's just hypothetical, funny joke, haha. But no matter what you have going on, I challenge you, just Google omega balance in the problem you're having, and just see what science and what the world says about what I'm telling you. You don't have to listen to me, but here's some shareable information. If you're out of balance, too many omega 6s to not enough omega 3s, it says reduced brain function, hair quality decreases, reduced heart functionality, skin loses its elasticity. I never say that right. I'm going to have to have someone pronounce that word for me. I'll do a voiceover. Anyway, reduced organ function. I always tell people that sounds pretty important, and joint and bone pain. And then here's an article that you can Google, find yourself, just put in CNN, Omega Balance. This article will come up, first search result, and it's at CNN Health. And it says an imbalance of two healthy fats affects your early death risk, study finds. And the scientist that they're interviewing says, we found that a higher omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is associated with a greater risk of dying. Also sounds very important. And he said there's evidence to suggest that the high omega-6 to omega-3 fat ratio, typical of Western diets, by the way, that's us, 20 to 1 or higher. So 20 inflammatory omega-6s to every one anti-inflammatory omega-1 or even higher, compared with the estimated 1-to-1 during most of human evolution, contributes to many chronic diseases, including cardiovascular disease, cancer, and autoimmune disorders. So how does it affect our cells? Again, all of our cells have omega-6s and 3s in them. And if there's too many omega-6s, what happens is the cell becomes very hard and rigid, the membrane, the outside of it, and then the nutrients are slow to get in, waste is slow to get out. And if you get yourself into balance and you have a closer to in the safe zone, then that cell is become more soft, more flexible, and that's going to allow nutrients to get in better and waste to get out. So it's nearly impossible to have enough omega-3s in your diet, so we must supplement. And here's the part that I'm getting ready to go into. I'm going to transition from that to knowing what your number is. And it says most people taking omega-3 supplements aren't working. More than 500 million people use omega-3s, and this market's growing by more than 8% every single year. So it's a fast growing market. And that goal that I shared earlier of 1 million customers before the end of the year, 20 million, 100 million. Even if the market didn't grow, having 100 million of the 500 million already using it is just a small sliver of the pie. But because between now and 2050, that market's going to continue to grow, we're only looking to capitalize on a very small slice of the pie, if you will, of a very large omega market. But we're going to get that slice of the pie because of our testing, because we can prove that our product is working where no one else is doing this. So when tested, 97% of the people aren't getting their desired results. And these are people taking omegas. These are people eating healthy. These are people exercising. These are people doing the right things or feel that they're doing the right thing. And still around the world, 97% of people are failing the test. So critical question. Is what you're doing getting you into omega balance? Test, don't guess. 100% of the people should take the test. Around the world, globally, 97% have failed. And here in the US, 99.5% of all people tested have failed. They are in the danger zone. So a little bit about that test. We have tested 1.4 million people around the world. We have the largest omega database in the world. We know more about people's omega balance than anyone else in the world. And that's so crazy because if you Google omega balance, there is a plethora of information about the importance of an omega balance. But no one else is really testing this in a large scale like we are, and that is what makes us different. Our test is convenient, non-invasive, at-home testing. It's accurate, it's confidential. Zinzino has cracked the code when it comes to dry blood testing used in a business model. Who does our testing? It's a third-party lab called Vitus. It is third-party GMP certified. They're official partners with Harvard University, University of Cambridge, and many, many other places. It is the world-renowned dry blood spot testing facility in the world, and we are their #1 customer. Again, third party, but we are their #1 customer, and we're very proud of all the testing that we're doing and the people that we're helping get into balance. Here's just about the world. Over in Europe, they eat healthier than we do in the US, but still 95 out of every 100 people tested are still in the danger zone. Middle East, 98% out of every 100. Here in the US, like I said, over 99 out of every 100 are in the danger zone. Here's what your test results will look like. You'll log into a website. You'll be able to have access to them. They are private and confidential. The only thing that ties you to your test results is the blood sample you send in, and then the card that that blood sample's on has some numbers on it, and you keep part of those numbers, and that's how you log in and look at your test results. So when your test results, when you're looking at them, Zinzino, the testing lab, they have no idea if you're taking our product, not taking our product, eating healthy, not eating healthy, exercising. All they have is your blood sample, and you get private, confidential results. And what we find is 99.5% of the people in America here are failing the test. They're in the danger zone. This is my wife. She was 26 to 1. We took our amazing $43 a month product, which I'll talk about in a minute, for just 60 days. And in just 60 days, and these are all test results, screenshots that yours will look like this as well. My wife's first test, she was 26 to 1. 60 days later, she was 5.3 to 1, meaning she had 26 inflammatory omega 6s for every one omega 3. Taking our product in just 60 days, she started to change her body and the makeup of her body and getting herself into balance. Again, just Google omega imbalance and all the crazy inflammatory problems that it causes. My wife was taking ibuprofen twice a day. 800 milligrams or whatever, for the little 200. She was taking them in the morning, taking them before bed, and been doing that for the last 6 or 7 years. I was terrified that she was destroying her organs and all the negative effects of that, but she just needed them. She needed them for back pain, sciatic pain, things from a botched epidural and a car wreck. And it was just her way of surviving. And, she's in her 40s, and I didn't see a long-term future of that. We just didn't have another solution. And at about the 120-day mark, which is about how long it takes all your cells to regenerate, my wife started to notice that she wasn't needing to take the ibuprofen twice a day. And then a few weeks, a month later, she started skipping days, and she would excitedly come tell me, I didn't have to take ibuprofen before I went to bed last night. And, here we are about 6 months later. My wife hasn't taken any ibuprofen in the entire time. She still has issues with her back. She can still feel things there, but her level of pain is decreased so drastically that she does not need that over-the-counter stuff any longer. So we can bring you back into balance in 120 days. Here's all the things we listed earlier that could negatively be impacted by that imbalance. Getting yourself back into balance can help you in those areas. Who needs this? From babies to geriatric, science tells us that we all need this for many different reasons and purposes. A little bit about our scientific advisory board. If you're an analytical researcher type, write down Dr. Paul Clayton. He is very instrumental in helping us develop our products, but he has a whole nother life way outside of our company. He works with world governments around the world, helping them get their countries into health. He is a big deal. Lots of titles, lots of pedigrees, lots of stuff that I can't remember. Most of it I can't pronounce. But if you're a researcher, go Google Dr. Paul Clayton. I'll tell you a little bit about our company through the process of who we partner with. Here's our balance oil. I mentioned earlier it's $43 a month for a bottle of our amazing product that will bring you back into balance, and we'll have tests to prove that. Our balance oil is not just fish oil. It's not like the caplets you buy at Walmart or Walgreens or GNC or online or the health food stores or Amazon or anywhere else. It's different. And the reason it's different is because most all of those things have been cleaned up. So when they take that fish oil and they process the heavy metals out of it, which is very important. No one wants to be putting mercury in their body or heavy metals in their body. But when they go through that process to take that out of the oil, they're destroying the oil and making it ineffective. That's why no matter what you're taking, how much of it you're taking, how expensive it is that you're spending on it, we can test you and prove to you that it's probably not working. And we have a money back guarantee if it is working and the test results come back. You've been taking our oil, but then you find out 21 days or so later when you get your test results back that you don't need our product. We'll just give you your money back. You could be that anomaly, that 0.5%, that 1 out of 200, that maybe what you're doing is working. But for everybody else, $43 a month, we will fix you with a product that's proven. Here's just some of those things I just mentioned. I'm not going to go back over them. Here's just some test results from some third-party analyzing of our balance oil and the stability of it, which is also very important. We have a couple other products as well. We have a premium version of that that has more of the olive oil in it. It's about $20 more a bottle. It's a great product. We also have it in pill form. So if you don't like taking the oil in the liquid form, which by the way, we just floated. I got to put a picture on here. But we floated on a top of a shot glass, whether it's water or whether it's juice or whether it's our great Zeal product. We just float the oil on top of it, shoot it back. It's very simple. Takes you about 2 seconds. But if that's inconvenient for you, or you don't like the oil for any reason, we do have it in pill form. And then we also have Aqua X. This is a patented formula where we've actually made the oil water soluble. This is very important for people that don't have gallbladders specifically, as well as others that may have trouble digesting the oil. But it is a patented process, one of the kind, game changing, industry changing type of product that we have, and we're very, very proud of that for those that need it. And then, of course, we also have a vegan formula, which is just the olive oil that we have, not the olive oil in the fish oil. And by the way, all the omegas that we get from the fish start at algae. So this is a combination of algae and the olive oil. And so that's what this product is in our vegan formula. Some argue that it actually even gets you in balance quicker. So some people really like it, even if they're not vegan. So our test, very important. It's about $170. By the way, you can go to your doctor. You can ask for an omega test. They have an omega panel where they can measure all of your omegas. Now ours is more than that. We put them into categories and kind of show you how they'll affect your body. You've seen my wife's results earlier. It's really user friendly. But the hospitals, the doctors, they have a version of this testing where you can test your omegas, but it's probably not covered by your insurance. That's why you've never heard of it before. Doctors don't push things that you can't afford, and most people couldn't afford this type of testing because it's not covered. That being said, maybe you got good insurance, maybe they do, maybe they don't, or you could pay out of pocket for it, but it'll probably be more than the 170 that we retail these for. But even better than that, we have a first month offer for when people get started and they get the test and a bottle of oil for $115. After that, you'll be on a subscription for $43 a month. You'll get an oil every single month. And then in the 5th month, we'll send you an additional test so that you can, with the first test, know that you're broken. Take our product for a couple months, take a second test, and see how it fixed you. And when I say broken and fixing, I'm talking about the omega balance. And that's what this testing is for. So essentially, for about $37 a test, if you did the math, stayed on the subscription for 5 months, $43 a month, with an additional $37 per test is kind of how the math works out, because I'm analytical and that's the way I do it. So $37 for this testing is remarkable in my opinion, and it is a wonderful value, and I think most people's copay would be that much or around that price. Here's some health claims we can make, approved by the European version of the FDA. I always forget what the initials stand for, but just some of the same things I've already said. Happiness starts with Zeal. This is another one of our products. We've sold more than 300 servings of this now around the world. It's a phenomenal product, an all-in-one vitamin, tastes great. All-in-one nutrition. This is what I built a successful, business that was, doing several $1,000,000 a year in sales just on this product. Phenomenal product. We have great videos on not only this product, but all products that I've shared that are 2 to 5 minutes long. They do 100 times better job explaining these products than I do. Get back with the person that invited you here. They'll be happy to share with you those videos that will tell you more about products you may be interested in. One of the last just little handful of products here, we also have Xenobiotic. It's a dietary fiber blend. Once you get your omegas in balance, the next thing that's really next important is gut health. Get the microbiome functioning properly. We are also developing a test that we should see in the 4th quarter of this year that will actually be able to, through a dry blood spot test your microbiome. Very excited about that. They also have a multivitamin that's phenomenal. Again, videos for all these products. Viva Plus, less stress, sound sleep, live happy, good night's sleep, a spa for the mind. This is a saffron product. Just Google saffron and all the health benefits of it. This is not just a saffron product, though. I believe it's the best on the market at an affordable accessible price to people. It's a wonderful product. Here's just some of our brand ambassadors. There's hundreds of brand ambassadors around the world that enjoy our products, and they sing at the top of their voice telling the world about it. That's why we call them our brand ambassadors. These are not endorsements. They are not paid by our company. These are just professional athletes that enjoy our product and share the stories and the results that they get from those, from Olympians to soccer players to swimmers to tennis players to race car drivers and everybody in between. Hundreds of people. We can also share with you more of those if you are interested. So guys, that is all there is to say about our products that I have today in this short presentation. I would like to just let you know that our first priority in our company is to help people with our wonderful product. Our company is so cool and so different than any other company in the world. We have about 25 customers to every one partner. You look at other companies in our industry, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1 is absurd. Most of them don't have near that, and our company has 25 to 1, and it's because of our customer focus, our customer goals, and our wonderful products, not to mention our wonderful partners that know how to help people with our fantastic products. So with that being said, if you're here and you're just interested in being a customer, I invite you to get back with the person that invited you here. Get your questions answered about the product. Have them send you a video that does a much better job than me telling you about the products, and then get started with us. Let's get you back into balance. Let's get you out of the danger zone and reaping the benefits of being in balance. Now, if you're a big thinker, and or at least open-minded to listen to the opportunity that we have to get paid really well for helping other people with this product, for spreading the message. See, we are Zinzino's advertising budget. Unlike those professional athletes I just mentioned a couple pages earlier, they allow people just like me, pizza delivery drivers, truck unloaders, they allow me to become professionals at helping people in this business. And it's a earn as you learn process. It's a guided step-by-step duplicatable process that the company has set up to allow people to have success. And by the way, this presentation is a tool, part of that system. You're not expected to do these presentations like I'm doing them today. Your job's just to simply invite people to these type of presentations so that they can hear other people with more experience do them. So our system is easy. If you can just be a good inviter, if you can just share, kind of do the same thing you do when you go watch a good movie. You tell your family, your friends, your neighbors, people at church, people at work, you tell them whether it was a good movie or a bad movie. Unfortunately, though, when those people go watch the movie, they go eat at that restaurant you told them about, you're generally not compensated for it at all in any way, shape, or form. Where here, we are the advertising budget of the company. The more we can share our products and vision with others, the more we can earn to an unlimited amount, and that's what I'm here to share with you. So real quickly, we get paid for doing two things, and that's gaining customers or helping customers get started. And then the second way we get paid is through building a team, which also is just about getting more customers. It's kind of like if you own a McDonald's franchise, you can sell 100 burgers a day or 1,000 burgers a day or whatever it could be. You're limited sometimes by that location. The parking lot's only so big unless you're Chick-fil-A, and then you just add a couple more lanes and hire about 1 million teenagers out there or whatever. But you're still limited to that location. And what building a team is all about is just opening up a new location somewhere else. So if you wanted to open another McDonald's across the street, probably wouldn't do as well. But if you open one across town, in the next town, in the next state, or maybe even around the world, you could end up having a global business, a whole army of people on the same mission you're on, a team working together to help the company achieve their goals, and all of us being compensated and earning well through that process. We have something that's called a customer career plan. This attracts a lot of healthcare professionals, doctors, chiropractors, nurse practitioners, all of the sort. I have a couple medical professionals in Australia in my team. They do the colon cleansing type stuff. They have clinics and stuff, and they offer the products right there. They get really excited about that because they already have a customer base. They're already helping them, and now they can help them in a new way with a new product. And the customer career plan could be for someone like that, or even someone like myself. Top team, you're looking at about $10,000 a year in repeat return repeat residual income. That's a very good part-time income. In addition to that, when you reach those 100 customers, you can earn an additional $11,500 one-time bonus. This is where everyone's really shoots to end up in their first year or so. I know I'm about halfway there. I just accomplished Pro Team in the last couple of days, and I am working towards that top team. Top team, also, you see 100 customers. Just know that those are products, not people. So when we count customers, we're counting product subscriptions, not people. So many of my customers have 2, 3, 4, and even 6 and 7 products on subscription. So one person is counting towards, many different customer points, if you will. The next thing we're going to talk about is building that team. I'm almost done here in a couple of minutes. 4-step process. First step is 4 customers. You have 30 days to do that. Next step is 2 business partners that get started on what we call a UPK. Step 3 is helping those 2 people, help 2 people get started on a UPK. And then step 4 is just 6 more customer points. And when you do this, you have 30 days at each step. So 30 for the first step, an additional 30, a total of 60 for the next, so forth, so on. 120-day fast start. You can make anywhere between $2,500 and $3,500 doing this, and you can do it as fast or as slow as you want within that time frame I just shared. I did this in my first 4 days and earned over $3,000. You'll also become at least a silver through this process. That is just a title, and our whole compensation plan is based on that 4-step process and duplicating it. So in our business, we learn about something, then we do the something, and then we help others do that something. So the way that works in that fast start is you learn it, you've heard it for the first time maybe today, then you do it, you've earned your money, and then you help your team do it, and that's how we duplicate that process. So again, you'll become silver. You help 4 people on your team become silver. You will become what we call an executive. It's about $1,000 a month residual income. You help 4 people do that, you'll become a diamond. That's about $5,000 a month residual income. Great part-time income. That's mailbox money, and that's adding a couple extra checks a month to your family's needs, and that is a good spot to be. And then you also get, as part of that, a car bonus of $1,150 per month. You help 4 people become diamond, you become a crown. Average income at a crown is between $13,000 and $20,000 per month. Here's just a chart of all of our different titles and positions. You heard me talk about silver, heard me talk about helping 4 people become silver, being an executive, 4 people executive, becoming a diamond, helping 4 people become a diamond, being a crown. Those are the average monthly incomes of the people holding those titles in our company. Those aren't just arbitrary made up numbers. Those are the average incomes for the people that hold those titles per month. Like I said, my wife and I are a director in the company, very close to crown. And then you'll see at presidential, one other thing I'll point out here, we have stocks where you can actually earn about $230,000 in stock when you hit president. And you can continue to earn several $1 million worth of stock as you continue to work and build your way up in the business. We are a publicly traded company, but we are a field-owned company because out of our 20 top shareholders in our publicly held company, 17 of them are field, people. Partners is what we call ourselves, and they are partners in the field just like me and just like you could be. And even if you're not to the point of earning this stock, of course, it's public auction. And even though I'm not there, I went and bought some stock, so I can say I am a company owner of Zinzino. And that is what helps me help people that are in my team, people not in my team. I'm working with everybody because as a company owner, It's all my team, right? So you definitely, if you're already a partner or going to be, just go buy 1, 2, 3 stocks. That way you can say you are a company owner. So timing, we're right here. We're in 2025. We've had double-digit growth for the last 20 years. We're closing in on a million customers before the end of this year, with a big goal to get a very small sliver of a very large pie and be at 100 million customers by 2050. You're taking a look at our company at the perfect time. We're not brand new, where everything's broken and unfixed and falling apart and all the challenges that new companies have to go through. But you're finding us in that sweet spot of continued growth, about to hit hyper growth as we've opened up the U.S. in a bigger way, and had a big influx over the last couple of months. Not that there wasn't pioneers and people working diligently to lay the foundation for us before that, but we've thrown some gasoline on the fire, if you will, over the last couple of months, not only in the U.S., but as we open up China and these other markets around the world, we're just starting to hit that momentum, that massive growth. The last thing about compensation plan, the company loves to treat their leaders like $1 million. At director, you can earn what's called a director trip. So as soon as you hit that title the first time, you've qualified for this trip. My wife and I have qualified for the next trip, which will be in Bangkok next March. They just got back from the trip that they did this year in Phuket, Thailand. The company took over 650 people from around the world to this trip. So it's not 3 people earning it or a dozen or a half dozen. 650 people earned this trip last year. They shut down the resort. Every room there was Zinzino people, and they had the resort for that whole week. These are leave your wallet at home, life-changing trips that you definitely want to try to earn. And then there's also an ambassador trip every single year as well. This year, they are going to Greece here in the next month or two. So anyway, guys, those are our trips. Here's a little bit about getting started. First and foremost, it is absolutely free to become a partner with us in Zinzino. There's no cost to be a partner, but we do suggest that you become a product of the product, and that you have product on hand to not only retail, but also to puppy dog to people, meaning when you go set with someone, share a wonderful product with them, you'll test them right on the spot. You'll let them walk out with oil that day where they don't have to wait, a couple days to get it. And then as you sign them up, there's an option to drop ship that product back to yourself. So the first order will go back to you, the partner, and they get to walk out with it that day. So it's another reason to have test and oil on hand, as well as the other products for you to try and use and be a product of the product. Now, different ways to do this. There's a couple different kits here. Now, there's many versions of these kits with different products in them, but there's these 3 price points. We do love the Ultimate Partner Kit, and you'll find out why in a second. First off, it's the deepest discount, so you get the best of value per dollar spent at a 65% discount off of retail on the product. Lets you try many different products, where the smaller packs are more limited in how many different things they can send you. But it's a phenomenal value. You're getting over $3,000 worth of product for about $1,100. It also lets you tap in to some of those fast start bonuses that can differentiate between how much you make in that first 120 days, including ECB, which doubles all the credits for all the product enrolled in your business in the first 120 days. But the number one reason that more than 80% of the people that get started with us as a partner around the world, no matter if it's in Mexico or if it's in India or if it's in Australia or whether it's in the US or Canada or Mexico, it doesn't matter. More than 80% of the people that get started with us get started with the Ultimate Partner Kit at $1,150. And the reason why is because our company does something I've never seen another company do. And that is they offer a 100% refund on that Ultimate Partner Kit if you just meet 3 criteria in your first 12 months in business. One, as you stay active and on your Z for Free kit, you can go, what's a Z for Free kit? It's a product every month. It's your oil. It's $79 a month. But once you get 4 customers, which you can do your first day, you'll get that product for free. So you can earn that Z for Free kit for free every single month. But the important part is that you're active on that Z for Free kit for sorry, for 12 months. And so that's criteria number one. Criteria number two is you become what we call A team, which is 25 premier customer kits, and that you have those 25 premier customer kits on the books at the end of the 12th month. You could have 25 in your third month and then fall back down and then go back up and then fall back down. All that really matters is if you have them by the end of the 12th month. And if you have them at the end of the 12th month, you've stayed active that whole time, you get an $1,150 refund. So that $3,200 worth of product almost, you didn't pay $1,100 for. You actually just said, hey, company, hold this money. I'm going to be coming back for this in 12 months. You bet on yourself. You made a commitment. You said, I'm going to be here a year from now, and you did what you said you were going to do. So you actually got $3,000 worth of free product. So guys, hopefully that answers your questions about getting started. If not, again, get back with the person that invited you here. We would love to have you as a customer, no matter what. You need to get in balance. You need to see what your number is. You need to see if you're in the danger zone, and we need to get you back into balance. Again, verify everything I've said on Google. It's all public information and available for you to find. And then second, if you want to be on this mission with us of helping people get into balance and be compensated very nicely for doing so, please get back with the person that invited you, get all your questions answered there. They'll put you on the phone maybe with another leader in their team, get all your questions answered. And again, thanks for being part of our system, plugging in, and hopefully you can see the simpleness of just inviting people to these presentations, sending them to your website, sharing our wonderful products. So guys, have a wonderful day. I'll stop